I used to have little farms around my house where I stay. I used to have poultry, I used to have snail, I used to have small fish tarpaulin behind where I used to stay. But I was still doing other businesses. I was into jewelries, I was into clothing, I was into oil and gas, which I'm still doing little by little because my interest now is gradually moving totally into the fish, the farm or agriculture. So I was doing those things. After some time, I realized that, look, these things can come and go, but for food, nothing can replace it. That's why I've decided to put more of my energy and time in farming. And it's recreating, because coming down to see little fishes you put, how they grow, how the farm is being managed, and when you harvest, you still make profit. It's very recreating. Behind your houses and beside your houses, you can decide to introduce little farm. And before you know it, you realize that either you are consuming it or you are making little profit from it. So agriculture is the way to go, because you can replace every other thing, but you can't replace agriculture. Computer is taking over everything that people do in offices. The computer cannot take over food. Computer can also assist you to grow your farm, but the basic thing that you need, which is food, to be able to be strong, to walk around and do the things you need to do, you cannot run away from it. They have not been able to replace anything that is called food. Even with supplement, you must still eat. I am Eguma Iwon Murphy of Murphy's Console Farm, located here in a cluster called One Sky Farms, and we are trying to introduce other little things like vegetables and the rest. And we are into fish farming, poultry, piggery. We started gradually with about 1-2 ponds. As the business grows and with the passion we have for agribusiness, we kept trying to see how we can expand. And luckily enough for us in the cluster here, we've been able to encourage ourselves and carry ourselves along. That's how we've gotten to the point which we are now. The structure is very interesting because we have one general manager. Each farmer here has his or her own section which we manage, and a central control that each farm has his or her own workers too. And then we've been able to manage ourselves because I read agroeconomic and extension from the university. I think that has made things a little bit easy for all of us here. Well, studying agriculture was like a passion for me, and even finishing from agri faculty, then coming to start agribusiness is also the passion that has led me into it. Yes, the studying agric has gave me a base, but even if you don't study agric or you study agric, you can also, once you have passion for that agribusiness, you also succeed in farming. I think so far so good. We've been able to manage things that you call challenges, because we see challenges as stepping stones. Like for the fish, the challenges we have at times is because of the instability in the price of the feed, which as we work together, we've been able to manage it gradually. But I think also the challenge we really have is that of the issue of funding on the feed section. And we are carrying on because we've been able to fragment the stocking of the ponds in such a way that if you have 10 ponds, you can decide to stock 3 at a go, and you spread like another 2 months, you stock another 3, another 4 months, you stock another 3. So that as this one is going off, the other one is getting ready to consume large quantity of feed. So if you do it that way, you realize that all around the year, you are having feed and you're not having the financial challenges. But I think we are trying to see how we can expand to, if you are doing 3 per section before, you can increase it to about 6 or 5 or 4. So with that, I think we are open for investors.
Going back to my old hometown, picking up the years I leave behind, getting in my car, I drive as memories fly.
Formerly, we used to use fuel pump, mud pump generators. But gradually, because of the costs and each pond has a borehole. So we're using mud pumps that use fuel, but gradually you can see, if you look around the farm, we've switched to solar, and we have brought in NEPA, which has helped to reduce the costs, because it would have been almost impossible to make profit if we had continued with fuel, because the price keeps going up every day. I think with solar it's almost like free. During the day you pump with solar, at night you support with NEPA light if there is NEPA light. And also with solar, once there is sun, it keeps running. I think that has been able to help us to reduce that cost and manage the water situation around the farm.
I met you. You made me happy, we danced through the night. Life was music and I was your wife.
You must check yourself first before you start. When you start, you try to calculate yourself and see how you will not run into trouble. You have to check your finances, and then we have a lady that is a distributor. We get feed from there, and even if you have shortfall, you've not been able to meet up to the harvesting time. Since we are working in a cluster, you can have support from the farmers. But like the farm, if you can't just say, okay, you depend on these farmers because your farmers too around you. You have to try on your own to see how you can make money available, and you should try as much as possible, if you are going into agribusiness, to have other businesses that can be giving you little money to support it. Like, you can decide to have buses that run on the road. Like me, I do oil business a little bit too, but since I started the farm, I've diverted almost all my fund into the diesel. But gradually you will see that the farm is the one supporting the oil business now, because the proceeds from the farm is very encouraging. Yeah. But when it comes to the issue of the feed, try as much as possible to buy feed ahead of time, pay once you harvest, so that as you collect and it gets to you should be able to get to point of harvest before you start having challenge that you don't have feed to feed your fishes. Funny enough, since we started this place here, we've not really had any problem, even from our pumping machines that we use. We've not lost anyone. The area is so secured. We have security cameras around the farm. It's coated around with perimeter fencing wires. Okay. And we have workers that stays here. And the accessibility by the security men, it's very easy for the security men to assess the farm. So once you see any threat on the camera, you just beckon on the security men. They will just drive in and arrest the situation. But so far so good, we've not had any challenge at all. Okay. Not by say they are stealing, even as little as egg is under control. Because in the egg section you have cameras, in the fish section you have cameras, around the fences we have cameras, which we have somewhere that review every other time that's needed to be reviewed, and it normally beeps on our phone once there is any security challenge.
We were riding out under the bleachers when no one could see. Oh, sweet memories of a town I loved, but changed when you left.
There's one thing that has kept Nigeria or Africa backward when it comes to the issue of agriculture. We have not been able to integrate our local available resources or materials to develop it into which will support us to make agribusinesses easy. Like when we came in here, we were using bags to hold our ponds. Okay. But now, if you watch around, you see that we are using a plank, wood to hold it around. The bags why we had to change from those bags was because the bag can easily collapse. But the planks can last for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years. All you need to do is just little repairs here and there. So as you go into your agribusiness, as you keep meeting challenges, you change from there to the ones that will be able to suit and to make the business easy for you. we have over 60 ponds. Layers, we have above 2,000 birds, and we are creating more space for more birds to come in. The pigs, we have over 50 pigs, yes, and we are still planning to expand. We are still trying to experiment on more livestock that can exist around the farm that will not disturb the structure of the main thing, which is the fish farm. So that's why we are trying all those rabbits, and the rabbits and other things are around the farm too. We are trying to start the vegetable farm so that we can be getting water from those ponds to use to water the vegetables. We are trying to recycle almost everything to make it into what will add to the beauty and the profit of the farm.
Picking up the years I leave behind, getting in my car, I drive as memories fly by. Driving by the fields I used to run through, where you were chasing me. We were riding out under the bleachers when no one could.
If you want to go into it and you really want to farm it yourself, you can come in here and we normally create room for training, and then you can decide also to invest if you don't want to come and learn. We help most times to establish farm for people, but you must also learn the basics of that fish farming business for you to be able to get it right. So you have to come here and stay for a while. Maybe come here, take some lessons, and then we'll help you to establish it.
This house I leave is nothing like us. Chased happiness, ended up on a one-way street. We're leading.
We don't have an affiliation with the university where they send their students here for IT. We've been able to grow out like about 3 sets of IT students here. Even our own workers here too. What we normally do is that as you are learning, we try to encourage you to be able to learn it properly, because you might become a farm owner tomorrow. Most of the first set of workers that we have here, almost all of them have their own farm and their own businesses they are doing now, which we are happy. Like I keep telling some of my colleagues here that look, one day the farm will grow to become like a training center, which it is getting to. We will not be thinking only profit, but thinking of how to be able to pass the knowledge to the younger ones behind us. And so that is where we find ourselves. And it gives us joy that a worker that works here, tomorrow the person goes, we try to encourage, even support with some financial, with some money to establish your own. Once we see that you are really serious. The workers here will try to pick their medical bills. We try to encourage where we can encourage. We see them like part of us, our brothers, not like workers. You don't have problem and we abandon you, no. So the farm has, I think that so far so good. That's what we've been doing here.
There is too much money to be made in agriculture. There is indeed too much money to be made in agriculture. Our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, please join your hands in investing in agriculture. It is a way for Africa. It is a way of life for the world, because everybody must eat daily. Hunger knows no culture. Thank you for watching. If you are new to our channel, kindly subscribe, click the notification bell, like, comment, so you never miss an episode on agriculture that matters. Until then, peace.